Hello guys, how are you all doing? Today is Tuesday, we're having a look at the markets together. So as usual, we start with SPX, having a look. We're still caught in this, whatever this is. I know there's a lot of people getting very bullish because of this breakout, from this trend line. I think that's a mistake. I think even in the case where, let's say we go full bullish and the market starts to trend up, I don't think it happens just like this. I think if that's gonna happen, I think it's more gonna be something like that. So I'm not expecting, immediate continuous directional move this way. I think it's gonna fuck around, and I think we're starting to see that already now. So when we have a look at the daily time frame on SPX, I mean, you can move the trend line a little bit, it doesn't change anything, whatever. Generally, whenever you have this curved move up and we have a pull back and then we are curving up again, by the time that it gets back up to the same level where it was rejected before, you kind of want to see a straight push through that, because what we're talking about really is an auction where the market is now entering a new stage where, if you consider this like a consolidated state, then what we need to see to get out of this, for this to be like a breakthrough that can really push this upward, is that we need to see a strong candle up that's being maintained. Meaning that we don't get something like this, or we don't get something like this, but we get a strong candle looking, like this kind of structure, right? Straight through and holding it. Because that really tells us that we have bidders available that's willing to pay that price, but we're not seeing that right now. So this makes me slightly cautious. And I really want to keep this in mind as we trade this week, right? So SPX here, what is that to do right now? We do have room for that pullback. Like I mentioned, that pullback where we return to 37.50 and then pushes upward. We do have that option. And I think that would be a great trade to buy 37.50. If we get it, and if we don't, then we find something else to buy, a better opportunity. Okay, so with this in mind, let's go have a look at the VIX, the volatility index, and not that much have changed. I mean, a little bit. We're starting to get some kind of move, but it's still what you would consider within the same range of where it's been trading. But this could be the beginning, right? This could be the start. So I could see how this could move up and see the SPX pull back at the same time from here. And that would allow something like this. Would look something like this. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to see if we get this pull back here, you're going to see a movement down, and then it's probably going to consolidate a little bit around this level, and that's where the wicks, as we consolidate the market, meaning that it doesn't move that much, that's when the volatility is going to die down, and then you're going to see a big spike like here. That would be a break. I think, I don't know, I'm inclined to think if there's going to be some kind of rally more than what we have seen, this is what it would look like. But I'm not like strongly favoring this at all. It's not like a trade that I'm feeling very confident about. It's just how I see this could develop from here. Let's go have a look at the dollar index. All right, so here we are. So this is starting to test the top of the range here, which has been moving in for the last 7 days. So you can see we're at the very top of it here. So I think the dollar index here supports a potential breakout for the wicks to pull back, strength in the dollar. Wicks, SPX is gonna pull back, wicks is gonna move up. I think that all plays together nicely in my scenario. I think it's I think it has a high likelihood to happen. So we need to think about this. We have to consider this. Good chance we're gonna see strength in the dollar. That means that all the USD pairs are gonna pull back, and we want to think about how far they're gonna pull back and how do we trade it. So that is a good question. Now, if we want to trade some sort of pullback, we want to find the best dollar asset to trade. You know, we're not necessarily looking for a bullish market to turn bearish, right? That's not really what we're looking for. What we're trying to look for right now is to support this theory that we have just talked about with SPX, the XY, and the WIX. What we're looking for is a USD market that has already been weak for some time and then has seen some strength from the dollar pullback, but is still trading bearish. That's the kind of market we want to go on short. So we'll have to go see if we can find something like that. That's much better to do than just try to short the SPX here. That's not the right approach. All right, next song. Let's hope it's better. All right, let's see what we got in Sona. Oh, and let's just have a look at the trades from last week. So we traded Euro USD on a 50-minute trade, and this worked out. We also traded New Zealand USD. It also worked out. The gold did not work out, and the GBP CAD did not work out. The trades were not bad. This was it. This was the pullback that we were trading. It was just too deep, but the idea was good, right? It was just too deep. This is always the challenge. The challenge is always, you know, we have a trending market in one direction, and when it's gonna pull back, we need to find out, is it gonna be the neutral level or is it gonna be a support level? And that is the challenge. And how do you get better at that? You get better at that from working a ton of hours with those specific markets. So you start to learn the characteristics of the market. New Zealand dollar USD went well. You can see this is, I believe this, yeah, this is the trade we took. You can see it was pretty close to stop out, but it actually came all the way back and did really well. So that's nice to see. Okay. Let's go see. So what we were looking for. So we can see that we actually got some Sona trades on SPX and the indexes. I want to buy that. Oh, okay, that opportunity is pretty much expired. Actually did pretty well. Look at that. I think that's pretty decent. I would not buy this now. Not after it already trended down here and pretty weak response. It might still hit TP1 or TP2 here, but based on what I can see here right now, I don't like this price action. It's not very confident. It's not very inspiring to. So let's avoid that. Okay, let's check the filters. All right, let's have a look. We got GBP CAD. Got some cryptocurrencies. Let's try to narrow this down a little bit. See if we can. I just want to have a look at Forex right now. And I don't really want to look at these short time frames. And the reason I don't want to look at these short time frames is because, as we just discussed, a pullback in SPX supported by the WIX and so on. It's probably more of a swing trade than it's a short-term trade. So we got USD, Singaporean dollar. Okay. So you can see that this has been absolutely hammered, right? And this is not looking to, you know, if we get, you know, if, let's go to the dollar index. So let's say we do get a bounce, right? You can see that these are very, you know, of course, very well correlated. You can see that the downtrend here in DXY is starting November 3rd, and that will be pretty much the same time for this market. So these are extremely correlated, right? And what we are looking for here is an earlier crossover than we're seeing here, because probably what's going to happen is that this is going to overextend. I think there's a very good chance of that. So let's go see if we can find something else. Another USD market, AUD, USD. All right, so again, it's basically the same trade. You can see here November 3rd, we get the uptrend, pretty much the same thing. And this market is still trending pretty strong, but it also has room to come down. I think down here would be a good buy. Like, given the distance from here to here and that it haven't touched this neutral area, I think this could be a very nice swing trade. So this one I like, actually. I'm gonna set up this very well. Let's see if we can find something else. And right now I'm just looking for USD pairs, but we can see what else we have available. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. This is something else, Euro AUD. So this is, you know, something different. And you can see that this trend, unlike the USD trends, has already had a recent change in the trend, right? It's already trending into a downtrend from its uptrend since September, right? So this, I think this market could have a, yeah, actually I like this. I do like this. Like, overall, the structure of this is not bad at all, right? We had this push down, coming up for a retest here, and it's already trending bearish. I think it's nice. It is correlated with the AUD trade I just set up, but I think it's going to be all right. All right. Now let's move along. Let's see if we can avoid any more AUD. We're looking for some USD pair. Okay, GBP USD. Here we go. But this is it's more than a few days old, and you can see how it's coming down. I'm not sure we want to be buying this anymore, given how it's coming down. It's a neutral level. So, I don't know. I'm not too interested in this. I am not too interested in this. Let's see if we can find some other USD trades. GBP USD, Euro USD. Yeah, these at this point we're getting, you know, these trades are too old. It looks like, I want to give a reminder about Sona. A lot of times, if you like the trades are missing, or you don't feel like there's enough trades or something, a lot of the times it's because trades are being filtered for you. And what that means is basically the quality of these trades are not good enough to really warrant to show up on Sona, be like, hey, this is a potential good trade. That's just too high a chance that it's just not gonna be something good. So that's why sometimes you feel like it's just not there. And that's because in trading, a lot of what people get wrong is that they don't wait. They don't have the patience to wait for the right setups. And instead, they just blow all their money and all their chips on bad setups. And then by the time a really good setup comes around that you should have been waiting for, they don't have any money to really trade that, or any motivation to even trade it anymore, because the account is already zero. So it's important to wait for the good opportunities to come around. Okay, so let's move along. We had a look at so let's go have a look at the lower time frames. And we're looking at Forex, indices, metals, crypto. Let's see what we got. Not really seeing anything here right now. I see a lot of crypto setups, but to me, they are all it's all the same trade with crypto. We can have a quick look at Bitcoin and talk about what is the state of Bitcoin. So we have done this, and now we're here. To be honest, you know, okay, maybe Bitcoin tests 25k from here, but this is not the place, in my opinion, to start getting into longs. It's especially not on altcoins, and a lot of these trade setups like what is this, Cardano, USDT on a 1 hour setup. You have to be very careful, because once this starts to unfold with this huge crypto pump that we've seen, which is still holding, you know, it's still, look at this coin is almost up 2x, right? I bet there's a lot of trendline traders that's already doing this, and you can see that essentially the trend is already broken, but it's still hanging up there. That's pretty normal when you see a trendline break like this. It might even go back or fuck around, but essentially the trend that it has been on since the start of January is over here, right? Doesn't mean it can't go higher or whatever, but whatever was going is cooked. I'm not sure that's the same game on Bitcoin here. Let's have a look. If we already have, I mean, we have a trend line here, of course, but then we also have a more steep one looking something like this. Probably need to go 4 hour to get a better setup. Somewhat, I mean, that's very steep, but no matter the steep, it's kind of over for this. What I do see a lot is that after a trend line like this is broken, what will happen is we can see something like this. It's very common for these trend lines for the market to break them and trick everyone, and then just kind of move back and then hit it one last time, but this time from the inside. And then by the time it hits it, the last time it comes up here, that's usually when you see the actual top. And but if we look at the trend right now in Bitcoin, this has plenty of room for moving down to 20k, maybe even 18,000 down here, and still be an uptrend and have room to recover. My bias for Bitcoin and my, you know, what I'm thinking for it right now is really just, it's gonna fuck around. Like, I think we're just gonna stay something like this, and we'll just see something. Oh, let's see. Oh, wrong tool. And we'll just see, you know, some sideways, something like this, something like that. That would be very bullish. That would be a really good scenario for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin overall, if it can do this. If it can just hold like 17 to 20k and consolidate here for a couple of months, that would be like the best you can even wish for. Why? Because it validates the price. And if Bitcoin is being validated at 22,000 or 23,000 or 17,000 or 30,000, whatever, that's super positive. You know, maybe, sure, the price is down, but it's consolidating at really good prices. So even if it goes to 10k, Like even if it goes to 10k or 12k, it's still amazing. Like people talking about crypto is dead, but I've never been more confident that it's going to be just fine. It's just that a shitload of people got hurt this time. A shitload of people, like millions of people. I think the FTX creditor list was like 10 million people. But 10 million people compared to 7 billion people on the planet, it's not that much. So if we prepare for the next crypto cycle and we build better tools to help people manage their risk and manage their investments and their personal finance and make sure that, you know, people take care of their own money in crypto and they don't trust third parties with their money, I think we can build a much better future. Okay, so that was the little crypto sidestep. Let's get back to some Sonar setups. So we're looking at 15-minute. And we didn't really want to, right? We wanted to exclude crypto for a second here. Because it was all the same, pretty much the same trade. So remember this, if you're looking at a market and it's pretty much all the same trade, I mean, if you're looking at and you're seeing crypto that you have like 5, 7, 10 long setups in crypto, just think about it as the same trade. So what is your job? Your job is to find the best responding market and trade that. So when we have an opportunity on GBP CAD here, then we gotta look, well, what else do we have on GBP? Right, we have a long setup on GBP. We also have a short setup here. And a USD setup. So okay, so then we want to look at CAD, right? It's like, do we want to take this trade? Well, it depends what is available to us, right? So we got USD CAD. Let's see how that went. Not too well, this trade. And what can we learn from that? Well, what we can learn is really the curve of how this moved up and started consolidating like right below the entry level here for multiple times. Whenever you have a market creeping to you like this, it's not a good sign. It's never a good sign. We don't have so much. I don't see so much. And I think that is really just speaking to the current state of the market. I think there's a lot of people that's about to lose a ton of money. We're about to see some big volatility come in, and a lot of people are going to be caught in the wrong position. So you will lose money if you're caught in these positions with all the other people. What you got to do, you know, you always want to be like 2 steps ahead, not 3 steps, not 1 step. You want to be 2 steps ahead. So you want to plan, okay, there's a lot of people sitting in positions right now. They're gonna get fucked. When they get fucked, what is that gonna look like? So what are people doing right now? Right, like overall, what are people doing? So there's probably a lot of people that's going long, and there's probably a lot of people going short, right? For example, on Euro USD right now. So what we want to make sure of is that, well, how are these people gonna get taken out? How are these people gonna get carried out? Well, it could be some FOMC news, it could be some whatever, some kind of news event that's gonna bring volatility. And what do you want? Well, you want to do this, and then you want to do that. Or you want to do the alternative one, which is you want to do that, then you want to do this, right? So these are the kind of the 2 paths that it can really happen in a volatility event. It's like either you get a spike up first and then down, or you get a spike down and then up. Right? So if you get a spike up, even though we are in an uptrend, you probably want to short that. You most likely want to short that. And then your job is to find out, well, what is the best market to short when it comes to Euro and USD. And we spoke about this already. And if the market dumps down, then you probably want to buy it for the bounce, especially with the trend, right? So if we get a steep dive down, it's probably a good buy down here. And we, as often as possible, we want to be working with the trend. So as long as we're green down here, we want to be buying. We don't really want to start to short this, even though that maybe you should be shorting this. It's much better to find another pair that's already in downtrend, you know, and and work with that rather than trying to short a market that's already strong. It's much better to short a market that's weak. In the same way, it's much better to buy a strong market than buy a weak market. So you want to prepare for people getting stopped out, and their liquidation should be your entry. Okay guys, I hope this was a little bit helpful. I want to keep in mind that we're not seeing so much of the Sonar right now, and that's most likely because we're about to see a lot of volatility, and that's going to come a lot of opportunities. So be really smart. Think about in order for you to make money in trading, someone else has to lose. So if you want to make money from these people losing in trading, then you have to do the opposite of what they are doing. What are they doing? They're constantly participating. They're constantly putting on positions. They're putting on positions in, like terrible area, like here in the extension 1 resistance zone, like here. It's like putting on positions here, either long or short. It's not really what you want to be doing, right? So you want to think about how you can make money from all the ones making mistakes here. And you can prepare for this. You can, again, like I said, you can plan for the market going up and then dumping, or you can prepare for the market to do a dump and then up. So on Euro USD, you don't really want to take this scenario. You want to find a different Euro pair that you can short. And the only scenario you're looking to buy Euro USD is a strong volatility move down. Not necessarily up and then down. You're not necessarily looking to buy this. You're much more likely to get a good result if it's just dives straight down and then up. Okay. So, those are the last words for me today, guys. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to do the live stream tomorrow. I'll be in Japan for an extended weekend. But we have some very exciting news coming out about Breakfree Trading and 2023. So stay tuned, and yeah, remember, just be patient. If you want to win, you got to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. So if they're gambling, you got to be the house and take their money when they make the mistake. That's all for me, guys. Have a great week.